Okay, welcome. Here, we're doing the podcast. And today we're going to do something about the word second. Why? Because it's the second anniversary of the podcast. And we just recently celebrated the third anniversary of English Makes No Sense on YouTube, right here. So, yay, anniversaries are coming around. And just thought I'd record this and put it up here for if you didn't listen to the podcast, but you want to see the podcast for whatever reason. I hope that you enjoy this. And I'm going to get started. So let's go. Happy anniversary to English Makes No Sense. And thanks for making it happen. Let's begin. Are you ready? And you're in my studio, which is really just a really cluttered room. And someday I hope to have it orderly and have that super cool hip podcast look. But right now you're just hanging out in my extra bedroom, which is the sitting room, believe it or not. Because only really people that sit in it are the dogs and me. But it is what it is. Let's get started, okay? Here we go. I'm going to hit the record button. Welcome to another edition of English Makes No Sense, the podcast where we have fun with the English language one lesson at a time. My name is S.L. Rockfish, and today I would like to say thank you. Gracias, grazie, obrigada, spasiba, merci, danke. Why thank you? Because today is the second anniversary of English Makes No Sense, the podcast. Yes, the second anniversary. I have been doing this podcast for 2 years now, and today, well, actually yesterday, March 21st, starts the third season of English Makes No Sense. The first year was shaky, I will admit. Why shaky? Shaky not like I was shaking, but first of all, I wasn't really sure how to do podcast. I wasn't sure if I could transfer the lessons I create on video into a podcast. Then I decided to not even try that. I figured why not just make different content based on things that pop into my head or lessons that I teach on Patreon or that people are curious about. And that seemed to be the ticket. Yeah, it was just the ticket. When we say it was just the ticket, it means it was the right thing to do. It was the solution to the problem. I was able to make more consistent podcasts and grow my audience a little more each episode. So thank you. I would like to thank each and every one of you who have ever listened to this podcast. I really appreciate your time. In honor of your support, I would like to thank you with some sayings that contain the word second in them or have something to do with being second. Let's celebrate the second year of English Makes No Sense or the second anniversary of English Makes No Sense with a lesson on things that have to do with being second, or they just have the word second in them. Are you ready? Our first saying is, or it's an idiom, to take a back seat. To take a back seat? What if I want the front seat? What if I don't have a car? How can I take a back seat? Here's the great part. You can take a back seat even when you are not in your car or any car for that matter. How? Well, the idiom to take a back seat means to have or assume a second role or position. For example, Bill takes a back seat to his big brother. Or at work, you may be working on a project with a partner. Both of you put in the same amount of effort and creativity. But when it's time to present the project, your partner gives the presentation and receives the most accolades, the most compliments. You, my friend, have just taken a back seat. You have taken a lesser role or a secondary position. Okay? Now, next up is the saying second fiddle. A second fiddle is one that plays a supporting role, a lower standing. It's very similar to taking a back seat. Here, let's try this. The vice president is second fiddle to the president. An assistant manager is second fiddle to the manager. They don't have as much say as the manager. Or Prince Harry, he is definitely second fiddle to his brother William. He has a supporting role, a lower standing. Okay? Prince Harry and most second fiddles can also be thought of as second best. What is second best? Great question again. It is similar to second fiddle, but it is used when you have to settle for almost the best. You're not quite the best. Huh? Yeah, this is what second best means. Not as good as the best and not much desired. Not much desired? I mean, who doesn't want to be second best? You're almost the best. Yeah, you're right. But let's try this sentence. It is often hard to be second best when competing in sports. I mean, seriously, who remembers the silver medalist in the Olympics, in any Olympic event, or the team that lost the World Cup, or the Super Bowl, or the World Series? It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah, that's why it is difficult to be second best. Here's another saying with the word second in it, but it has nothing to do with one's position in life or in a competition. This saying is a split second. A split second is a saying that means to happen fast. In fact, in less than a second. We use it all the time when we want to tell how fast something occurred. For example, the accident happened in a split second. The accident happened really fast. Many things go by in a split second. They also go by in the blink of an eye, but that is for another day. Having second thoughts? Second thoughts? Yep, that is our next saying, second thoughts. If you have second thoughts, you are uncertain about your decisions or actions, or you may have changed your opinion on a matter. Second thoughts. For example, after listening to the candidate, I had second thoughts about my decision to support him. Translation: after listening to the candidate, I had a change of opinion about my decision to support him. Second thoughts, to change your mind, to change your opinion. And finally, let me wrap it up with this saying, just a second. We use the saying just a second to stop and allow the speaker to respond. Check this out. Dave said, just a second. Who do you think you are? When he heard Bill talking about the boss. So he's saying, wait a second. And we use just a second for just a second. Let me get this straight. And then that gives the other speaker time to respond. We can also use just a second to as another way of saying wait. Perhaps you've used it on the phone when you make a call, or you've heard someone use it to you when you're on a call. As in, just a second, I'll be right with you. Basically, they're saying, wait, I will be right with you. Or you walk into a place and the receptionist is busy and he says, just a second, I'll be with you. Okay? They're saying, wait, I'll be with you. Or they say, just a second. What they really mean is, wait, it's going to probably be longer than a second. But we say just a second, meaning wait for just a little bit. Okay? So there you have it. 5 sayings with the word second in them, in honor of the 2nd anniversary of the English Makes No Sense podcast. Let's review before I go. To take a back seat means to have or assume a secondary role or position. Second fiddle is one that plays a second supporting role or of a lower standing. Second best is not as good as the best, and it's really not much desired. How about split second? A split second is used to describe something that happens fast, very quickly, less than a second. Just a second is used to say stop and allow the speaker to respond or to say wait. And second thoughts? Second thoughts is used when we want to reconsider one's decision or opinion on a matter. We usually say, "Are you having second thoughts?" Or I had some second thoughts about this whole decision. Means I regret it, or I'm thinking it over. I might change my mind. I may change my opinion. Got it? Now, before we go, let me put these to verse. It's a short verse. So here we go. Have you ever had second thoughts or taken a back seat to another? Maybe it happened for just a split second and you didn't know what to do. Fear not, my friend. Just a second. It's not a riddle. You should never, ever have to play second fiddle to anyone. What? Come on, English. There you have it. A quick lesson on 5 sayings with the word second in them. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the English Makes No Sense podcast. Thank you for helping me have a second anniversary. And cheers to the first episode of the 3rd season. That's a tongue twister. Whew. Let me say that one more time. Cheers to the first episode of the 3rd season of the English Makes No Sense podcast. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, and I hope you have an amazing day. Do something fun, do something amazing, or, do nothing at all. But whatever you do, have a great day, my friends. Peace. And if you want to see this on the YouTube, you can watch it on the YouTube channel at English Makes No Sense. Have a great day, friends. Peace. And that's a wrap. We got it. Okay? I hope you liked it. Let me know what you might want to see. If you made it all the way to the end, leave me in the comments. Say, hey, I made it to the end. All right? I'll give you a special shout out. Peace, friends.